what it feels like for someone to represent it, and just your boldness. And I said, and you're local too. I said, I have to drive up here and support you, and just to get educated as well. And whatever you were going to do at that moment, which you really didn't have, you were just doing at that moment. You didn't know that this was such a huge change at the time, but I
Right.
was down for whatever it was going to be, because I felt like this is something that we definitely need in our area, North Carolina. But of course, we can reach more than our local areas due to social media. And I just wanted to be a part of it. It was like a no-brainer for me. More importantly, it was to show solidarity in your journey, which our stories are our testimonies, and that's how people are transformed. So,
Absolutely.
like I said, I just had to and wanted to be a part of it.
Absolutely. I'm gonna say I'm probably older than most on here, and I'm her baby. She just don't know it. That's Tamika James. I'm her baby because she been carrying me along for a long time. When I was first starting my educational journey, she was there. Tamika, when I called you and I told you what I wanted to do, I was just looking for some insight, some help, because you have done many, many years of what I'm not trying, what I'm now embarking on. The try is gone. You know what I'm saying? We out here now. And so I would say I'm her baby. She just didn't know I'm her baby. But she had already made up her mind. She told me. I'd already know I was going to mentor her. And she made me do all the work and still doing the work. And the night I got grilled and drilled and whooped tonight, but it's to make it to be the best that it can and get the best outcome out of it, and to learn how to walk this walk in our industry correctly and not just throw stuff out there. But Tamika, you said yes. Like saying yes to the dress. You said yes to my event. So what made you just take me on?
So, I know how serious you are about education, having a school, mentoring other people, making sure people have information. You spoke earlier about how I created Extensions Expo. I did that trade show for 13 years in person and 2 years online. And I reached out to you for several years, starting from somewhere near the beginning, to say, hey, bring your students. And you
You
said,
did.
I'm bringing them, and you brought them in literally by the hand, and you walked them into the door. When I knew that you were that person and you were stepping into this, doing it on your own, I
Hmm.
really wanted to be there for you, to make sure I could offer any support, advice, just to help you to do things the way they should be done. And we had several sessions. We talked about what your mission was. I helped you to get clear on the mission, because you wanted to do a whole lot of things. And it was just like, okay, let's narrow down exactly what the real deal is here, and decide to give people just a little piece of you. And you can give them more of you later, but give them what they really need now. And we had these great conversations, and I knew you were serious. So the question is, why did I say yes? Because you are the person that can do this, that will do this, that is supposed to be doing this. And to also learn more about your personal story, as we were in our coaching sessions, letting
Yes.
me know that this is really what you have been keeping from the public. And it was
Yes.
just like, hey, okay, all right, you're already out here starting to tell the story. Let's get it all the way out there and help these people. So I'm just excited for you. And I'm here, I'm a phone call away, and you're the one. So that is my answer. You are the one to do this. You got this, and I'm excited for you. And I'm here for every step of the way.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I was talking to her tonight, and one of the topics came up about something she's going to be bringing is what's your next, and she made me do a lot of work. And one thing is, why was I doing this? And I said, as I exit, yes, I heard y'all heard me say it, as I exit from the industry, as from what I'm doing behind. I've been stopped behind the chair, but just exit the industry. My exit will now be, and I've been educating a long time, and she brought that out too to me. You've been doing this all the time, but I'm now on a mission to not longer hide things and cover up things, but bring it to the forefront. And you cannot sit in my chair anymore to get your hair just done. You know what I'm saying? Or covered up, or unit, or wig, or weave. We're gonna get to the problem. the why you're covering it up in the first place, why you had to get here, how you get here. So I'm now educating on a different level, and I'm very excited about it. And I'll be honest, Tamika brought all of that out of me, and Shanae hold my hand, and all of you been some intricate part of it, but I didn't know where I was going. I promise. Shanae said I was just out there, and Tamika brought it all into focus. I had some great ideas, and God gives them to me, but I had to find out some direction. And that's what I got from Tamika, and I want to thank her and thank her and thank her. So I want to say to you, Nicole, because we go way, 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 way back, and I keep finding you. God keep putting us together and joining us back together. I got pictures of Tamika Expo, you and me. And
Yes.
I've been asking you to come around for a long time to my schools. But what made you say yes? Because you was right there on the spot. Yes, Janice.
Yes. Well, like you said, I actually met you at Tamika James, one of her hair shows at her extension expos years ago. And when I met you, you had introduced yourself to me, and you told me you got a school, and you was like, I would love to connect. And even though we didn't connect at that right time, at that current time that we met, years later, you were referring your students to take my class, and your students were signing up for my class. And I'm like, hey, how did you hear about me? And they was like, my teacher referred me. I'm like, who was your teacher? And they was like, Miss Evans. I'm like, wow. I was like, yeah, I met Miss Evans a long time ago in New Jersey. And for you to even just refer your students to me, and me and you not even connect yet, that means a lot to me. That mean a lot to me, because it's like you already trusted in me before we even worked together, and your students spoke so highly of you, and they was just like, yeah, she told me I got to take this class because it's gonna take me to the next level. And I'm like, wow, you were sending me referrals before we even connected, and that meant a lot. And I just know how big, like Tamika said, you big on education, and everything that you're doing as far as the schools and opening up the school. I seen you open about 2, 3, 4. I said she opened up another school and another school, and that's what I want to open up a school. So I'm like, you doing what I want to do. So I need to go. We need to join hands and connect. And so I was like, when you called me on, it was a no brainer. I'm like, yes, I do it. Yes, yes. I didn't. It wasn't no. I had to say yes, because I just honor the anointing on your life, and I thank God that you chose me to be a part of it. So I just had to say yes. It was a no brainer, and I just think that like I said, all your students that you referred to me, they speak so highly of you, and I see that in your character as well. And even though it's been years ago that we met at Extension Expo, when it's the right time, it's when it's your turn, it's your time, and I believe that right now is the time.
Hello, thank you everyone for joining us. Please share this out, because this is going to just be an epic event. And I don't do anything for naught. I don't accept people as my Facebook friends or social media friends just be having people. So we're connected for a reason. And I believe God don't make no mistakes, and it's there for a reason. And I will go back and say, even if I came to one of your classes or I attended for an event, I took something back and I brought it back to my school. I brought it back to my students, to this moment. And I have Queena here to verify. We use Tamika James techniques in my school. We still use her literature. I'm still teaching how to make a closure technique, because I got embarrassed at one of her events. When I bought a closure in from the store, and I knew better. So I still use those moments that I had to stand in front of all these hundreds of women and apologize to my injury for coming in with a store-bought $2.99 closure, but I'm at this event trying out for a educator position. She's like, not on my watch. So I humbly got up and said, can I say something? And I apologize to everyone here, because I know better. I teach this. I do this for a living. Here I am taking a shortcut, and I didn't bring my A game. I learned that lesson about 13 years ago from Tamika. One thing about me, I'm humble enough to say, hey, I'm wrong, or I didn't do right. And because I don't play games either, but I had to do a bob, y'all. And Tamika had all us do a bob. And I bought all this little cheap hair. And I bought one of the store closures, and I got up and called myself going to do a quick weed real quick. And I quickly got embarrassed and quickly sat down. The next morning, the Lord convicted me. And I quickly got up and say, I apologize to all my colleagues. I would never do it again. And to this day, Queen, I ain't telling no lie, I still teach that moment. You never bring nothing less than your A game when you come to educate and be part of anything that you got to do. So I learned lessons. It ain't just going to fall on deaf ear. I put them in practice. And so I got a lot of stories, but I'm gonna keep on going. So Queena,
You spilling the tea out here, huh? Spilling the tea. You know what?
Listen,
I actually love that you just shared, some you're sharing some of these stories. It is letting us know that you understand that people just don't know.
Yes.
That's what you really just said just now.
yeah,
People just don't know. And I think that is what this is all about. They just don't know. So you're providing a platform based on all the experiences that you've ever had, the times when you didn't know, the times when you showed up and you could have showed up a different way. You're showing that you want others to show up better and you want them to have the right info. I applaud you. I
Thank you.
had to jump in. All right.
yes,
I
yes.
just don't. I don't play games in my classroom. You ever want to see me transform to somebody you ain't never seen before? Come and step in my classroom. I promise you, you would not leave the same. And I don't just do no hair. We don't just do hair. We gonna educate you, and you gonna go out and represent me. People say, "I know what school you went to. You went to Evans Beauty." You sound like that's right. Queena, tell them, talk to us. What made you be part? You've been following me and you pumped me up and you got my head this big and you made me feel like I can do anything and conquer giants and shoot down Goliath. I mean, girl, you've been right there.
Listen. So there was no question, there was no shadow of a doubt. I know that you just like that motorcycle that just rode down the street all loud. You had a destination in mind. You were going somewhere. And even though you may not have known exactly where it was going to
That was
be,
Shanae said.
you were going somewhere. You had a destination. You was like, I gotta get here. And you would encourage other people and you would push other people. And with me, I would say, well, I've always wanted to be an educator. And you say, no, you are an educator. You naturally educate. And you would correct me. And I was like, who this lady talking to like this?
I know that's right.
Everybody can't talk
She
to
was
me
ready
like
to
this.
cuss me out, y'all.
Listen, but when she said it, I was like, but she's right. How can you be mad at somebody who's telling you you can and you've been doing it? The person that gets rid of the procrastination in you that you have, because we as stylists can be procrastinators. The person that won't let you give up, you can't let them give up. You have to be a part of the thing that's growing. This thing is growing. This
It
thing
is.
is moving. It is an organism. It is living and breathing, and I am on board. I'm excited because just like Tamika said, the transparency, the ability to say, hey, I made this mistake and this is who I am. You're going to make mistakes and this is who you are, but this is where you're going and you can't stay here. So of course I knew that before, I'm going, you stuck with me. Like, it's just what it is. I'm stuck
I,
here.
I
Like, I ain't going nowhere.
I'm excited. I followed Mickey Wright many years and she didn't know I was following her. I was actually living in Maryland and I was sitting in a salon and seeing one of her books. And I read the book from front to back to cover. And I picked it up and she had a phone number in it. And I called this woman and said, hey, I'm still doing it. I have a state board prep business. And I guess it's kind of unusual. What I did was teach people how to pass the state board. I wasn't even really talking about hair. I was talking about my other side of the business. And we talked and we did a conference. And many years later, I found her again. I met up with her, I think on social media, and she graciously friended me and we talked. I invited her out to my school. And she came, and sometimes you got these big superstars, you kind of feel kind of intimidated about them. But I just felt like, I run with the big dogs. God, I'm a child of the king. Hey, you know what I'm saying? Nobody's too great for me. I'm as great as you are. Not saying it in arrogant, but hey, I consider the table and I got something to bring. But she let me sit at the table with her. She came and talked to my students. And I didn't have a big classroom. I had a kind of small classroom. And, on social media, we can look this big, but we really like this right here, but she still came out and she graced my class. I still got her paperwork. I still talk about credibility to my students. So as I said, I don't take anything that people give me for naught. I use it. I continue to educate with it because it brought the value to us, and she spoke volumes to my students. And to make Mickey, tell me why and what are you going to bring to us? Why are you saying yes to being part of this platform?
Yeah, well, I think everybody else has kind of summed it up. I think you are the chosen one. I think there's no mistakes,
I
and
feel like Matrix,
you feel like what?
the Matrix. You're the chosen one. No.
Yes. but
Morpheus.
but yeah, it's like, you being bold enough to wear your head, without your hair, and all of those things. Like, God chooses people that will be able to be that bold and to be able to step into helping people, because what we get into this industry for is because we want to help people look and feel their best. And we know
Right.
that, right now especially, it's like there's a lot of covering up going. There's a lot of, people not understanding what's going on with people from the inside out. And it's like our hair is often a reflection of the inside. And so, really, I know that you're about education. I know that you're about excellence. And it's like I like to associate myself with excellence. And so when you asked me, and it was months ago, it seemed like, oh, that'll be, way down in the future. And now it's like around the corner. But I was like, oh, yeah,
I
don't.
know, right? It was a year ago.
Yeah, yeah, but I appreciate it. It's like you were the first one on my calendar, I think, for 2024. So I know
Excellent.
you're about planning, you're about making it right, and all of that. And so I can't wait. And I forgot to mention, it's like I'm in Raleigh, North Carolina. It's a lot of North.
Raleigh, North Carolina. So she's close by, so I can just reach out and touch her. So do
Yeah.
you want to tell us a little bit about what you're going to bring to the expo as far as the class?
Yeah, yeah. It's like we're going to talk about business, we're going to talk about mindset, and we're going to talk about the people that we're servicing. So I think it's all about being the solution. And right now, a lot of people are out here looking for a solution. So how can we be a solution for them, where they feel like they can trust us, because
Yes,
it can be very emotional, where they
right.
feel like they are going to get educated while they're sitting in our chair, and where they feel like they're going to get the best, that excellence. It's like I want everybody that comes to the expo not only receiving that if they're a client, but being able to deliver that if they are a stylist, because it's not about the hairstyle. It's about really, helping that person in whatever way is needed, and also valuing what we bring to the table. And a lot of times I find that we get the education, it's like we use the best products, we do all of these different things, and I call it, it's like you've got JC Penney prices teamed up with your Nordstrom level services. And no, disregard for any of the stores, but it's like you want things to match up. So I'm going to help you match it up so that you're giving excellent service and you're getting premium pricing, and you become that go-to spot in your area, because you should be the ones of you guys who are coming to get educated. You should be the
Yes.
place where people know, like, this is the place to go. I'm not going anywhere else. I don't need to go sit over here, and I don't need to scroll Instagram and try to find my next person. It's like, this is where I'm going. So
Absolutely. This is just going to be so epic. A place, a building, 2 days of just for professional training, education, resources,
yeah.
just information. One, a panelist to be able to talk to our consumers, talk to our clients, and
Mhm.
our clients be able to talk to us about hair loss in a more intimate, safe place, and being able to lean on each other for information and resources. So I'm excited to have such an all-star lineup. Y'all just don't know how grateful I am for God allowing y'all to say yes to alopecia. But Shanita,
Can I
you came in my life. Go ahead, Nikki.
I was just wondering if I could just say one more thing, because some
Sure.
people don't realize, especially with women, working with women, it's like there's usually one cause of hair loss for men. For women, it's a lot more complex. We can be a little more extra, but
Yes.
there's, like 7 to 9 causes, and there can be mixtures of those two causes. So it's like I understand the hair loss part and how we have to integrate all of those pieces together to really create that experience for the client.
All of those pieces and actually understand how to take your tread. Like I said, don't lose your client because they're losing their hair. How to
Right.
have the conversations about hair loss. How
Right.
to understand that everybody don't be want to be sitting in the middle of the room because we all women and you expose me in my head. I got people that's like, I don't care how many women in here, don't do that to me. And I'm
Mhm.
one of them. Don't do that to me.
Right.
So Shanita, tell me why you said yes, and I met you 5 days and somebody sent you to me and you've been right here with me ever since. Tell me what you're gonna bring. Tell me why you said yes to me.
I said, well, first of all, it was a God assignment. Let me say that. Um, the assignment that God sent me on, one of my clients introduced me to Mama J, Miss Janice. But I like to call her Mama J, because that's what she is. And I called. I was persistent. She sent me. She tagged me in something. She tagged me in Alopecia Social last year. This is a client that been with me for years. I've always called myself the hair doctor, but I just got into the trichology piece of it, or did my first uh teaching or class back in maybe 2012, 2013 on trichology. I know we got a dab of it in cosmetology school, but nothing like what's now. And so my thing, I always specialize in healthy hair regardless of what it was. I always specialize in healthy hair. So when my client tagged me in the Alopecia Social, I immediately I looked her up, and then I looked on her Facebook page and I seen the number, and I'm like, oh, she got a beauty school in Burlington, Greensboro. And someone's like, call her. So I texted her that same night. It was a Thursday. I would never forget, last year in September. And I called her, and she didn't pick up. So I texted her, and she immediately, probably within an hour, she called me back. And can I tell you, that conversation, we probably was on the phone for about 2 hours, and it was a God. It was God. She poured into me. I poured into her, and I was excited. I went there that Sunday. One thing she said to me, she liked thinking things. She liked thinking people. I
I
walked
sure
in.
do.
I came in to set my table up. But for me, I'm always, anywhere I go, I come to serve. So I'm always on assignment. So I set my table up, but I didn't set my table up and just sit there and watch everybody else do the work. Hey, Miss Janice, what can I do? I stepped in, because at that point, it wasn't about me selling products or doing whatever. It was about God sent me here to serve. And so I told her before we talked, we always talk back and forth, and I told her, I know that God brought me in her life to serve. Even at this point, things have shifted in my life within the last year. But again, I'm here to serve. And so I said yes because of the thing of um Miss Wright, you said it a few minutes ago. There are different causes of alopecia and the different sub causes of alopecia. And in order to, especially with women, it's so much that we deal with, and it's so much that we have to talk about. And even with that, our mental can cause us to get in a place where we're losing our hair and not even understanding. Grief can cause us to
Yes.
get in a place where we're losing our hair and not even understanding. So Miss Mama J said, if she began to tell her testimony, and I remember these numbers, 789, July 31st. See, I can share her testimony now because it's out. But she said July 30th, God told her to do a thing, right? And 7 is the end. It's completion. She was in a place for months. I forgot how many months she said, but
18 months.
18 months she was in a place, and she completed that. And then in August, she began a new beginning. And in September, she birthed something. So those numbers, when I think of Miss Janice, when I think of you, when I think of my yes, when I think of my why, I think of 789. You completed something, you started something new in the beginning. And you birthed an assignment, and I just had to be a part of that. So I'm grateful to be a part. This thing is more than just about hair. It's about our mind, body, soul, and spirit. I'm coming in
Yes.
more on the spiritual realm. That's where Miss Janice and I have connected on the spiritual realm. Um, and I'm just excited to bring about faith in the business, because it takes faith to operate. It takes faith to survive. I got a prophecy that I always talk about. I got it 10 years ago, 2010, and it says it's not about the money in my pocket, it's about the faith and favor over my life. So I'm excited to be able to bring that to share, that God sends the people to sit in my chair, and as He send
Don't
those
give them all
people,
the testimony.
okay, I'm sorry. But that's why I said yes. I said yes. I get excited when I get to talk about just this business, and being a part of this business. I get excited about that. So I said yes because God brought Miss Janice in my life, just for that reason and for me to serve. And so now I'm still yet serving her, and serving in the industry, with the Alopecia Social.
I can't wait to take that
I
class.
want to welcome you to our platform tonight, Dr. Dave Ray. Thank you for gracing us. I know you're a busy person, so I know you probably got to go. So I'm going to get to you. I appreciate and thank you and humbly say thank you for being part of Alopecia Social. And you definitely fitted me in. That's a word. Fitted me in your schedule to be part of such an event. Can you tell us what you're going to be bringing to Alopecia Social? Introduce yourself and tell me why you chose to be part of our platform.
Well, good evening, everyone. Hi to my friends on here, people who I know very well, Miss Mickey Wright, Miss Nicole Ferguson, and I don't recognize the other faces because I'm seeing the small screen. But I have been in this field of trichology from since 1988, and I've my training has evolved over the years, and now I'm dealing specifically with nutrition and how nutrition affects hair
Yes.
loss. And so, because I know people coming from different aspects in terms of stress, etc., I'm coming from a place of nutrition. And I agreed to it because I know that we need a lot more information out there for the beauty industry. Now, I always have to say that trichology has nothing to do with cosmetology, although we think so. It's just easier for cosmetologists to become trichologists because of the fact that we already deal with hair. But when I travel the globe and learn more about trichology from people in Taiwan or South Korea, I realized that they are not even hairdressers. They are just hair loss specialists. That's all they do.
Mm,
And so from the global standpoint, um, you have people who are accountants who become trichologists because all they're doing is understand the problem of hair loss or hair maladies or any scalp conditions, etc. There's lots of information out there that is still sort of unique or esoteric to the United States, and so I am bringing that part of it from that part of the world to the conference. Um, I believe that people are um, in need of information. And if people have information, they can do better.
yes.
People have information, they know how to live their lives with a lot more power. There'll be less hair loss, there'll be less scalp maladies, less uh, all this information or inflammation, not information, but information about inflammation to the scalp.
Yes.
And so I'm coming from that standpoint, understanding that the foods we eat can contribute to the condition of our hair. And that's not something we've ever thought about because of the fact that I mean, especially if you're from the South or you're from the Caribbean, you eat what you eat because that's
Hmm.
just your culture. But times have changed and things have changed. And even the way food is being harvested, produce is being harvested, how foods grow, lots of changes are made. So you have no organic and inorganic foods. And so all these things are things we need to do. Now, I'm not preaching vegetarianism or veganism. I'm not preaching none of that because between you and me, I love meat more than anything else. But I'm preaching how to balance your diet, how to balance your food groups so that you can be healthy. And if you balance your food groups, not only will you help your hair, but you help your entire body. So the knowledge that I have garnered over time is not for me to bottle up inside me. It's for me to share. It's for me to share with other people so they can have more information so that they can function. Everybody's not going to be a trichologist. Everybody's not going to be a hair loss specialist. But if you have
Yes.
some knowledge about what you're seeing or how to look for what you're seeing in front of you, if you have some more information how to address a client, if you have enough information to know which client I should recommend to see a dermatologist or a
Yes.
nutritionist or a health and wellness specialist, all these things you need to know. Having great consultations and hair analyses are always better for the client and for you giving
Yes.
or
Lord.
sharing or treating the client. And so that's the standpoint I'm coming from. It is so amazing that when Janice and I connected, and I realized that Her event is going to be on the 15th/16th. I am coming to North Carolina on the 14th and leaving on the 16th for the Bahamas. And it's so convenient because the person who I am going to the Bahamas with is an old client of mine, old friend. She's an older lady. And, you know, FYI, she asked me to accompany her on a trip because she doesn't travel alone. And I'm going to North Carolina to meet her. And she happens to be one of my clients who suffered with hair loss and I treated for all these years. And she is a testimony.
Yes.
She speaks very
Thank
well.
you,
As a matter of
Lord.
fact, yeah, she was a former principal of a school in New York. She retired and moved to bought a property in North Carolina, 15 minutes away from where Janice is hosting this event. 15 minutes away. Isn't that God? So
Yes.
I am coming there. She's gonna come with me to give a part of her testimony of what she encountered and how I treated her. And it's just amazing how this works out.
It
So
is.
we leave there, we go to Bahamas, we come back from the Bahamas, we're going to a wedding. Then I'm using the time in the Bahamas to do a lecture in the Bahamas with the Nassau Beauty Association. We come back on the 20th of uh, September, and on the 21st, I have to be in Charlotte. So I'm just gonna say everything works out all for the
All
greater good.
aligned.
I mean, just amazing how that worked out. So I'm saying this to say that it was divine intervention. It was meant to happen for me to be here. I'm. I have to get a chance to see Mickey because Mickey has been avoiding me for the last year or two. I don't know why. Nicole and I will connect, and I'll get to meet other people. And so I'm very excited. Anytime we have information to share, um, I'm always willing to be there. Having discussions about JAK inhibitors, etc. All those are things I want to do in my presentation. So I'm looking
Wonderful.
forward to it. I'm extremely excited. Um, and so I any questions you have later, if there's any questions, I'm willing to answer. But I'll wrap it up here because Mickey knows I can talk a lot.
That's fine. I know that Ebony was at the Browner Brothers show as a presenter, right, Ebony?
Yes,
Ebony?
I met Mr. David Ray at each Bronner Brothers, but I don't think he really remembers me. But usually I'm at the Bronner Brothers doing classes. I usually instruct barber classes. Here lately I have been. But I've also done natural hair care classes in the past. But
Okay.
yeah. I
Yeah,
think we
and
had
I
a
know
conversation.
sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
And I met Dr. Dave Ray at Tamika James' event. So that's where I first saw you at. So
Boom.
and that's where I first met Nicole at also. So I know that there's some connection up in there also. So that's how I met you at one of her events that she had.
Oh, I actually know Ebony. So Ebony thinks I don't know who she is. I know who she is. I just can't see the pictures on the screen too well. But I know Ebony. Yes.
Yeah, so I'm as excited about this all-star lineup. I just want you to come on and just kind of give us a glimpse of, and Kamalita, we haven't talked to you yet. Can you give us a little bit about what you're going to be bringing to also the Alopecia Social Summit?
Yes. So I come from a standpoint of making sure that we as professionals understand our knowledge base. So understanding what it is that we see when we see it, understanding common things. We are the first responders when it comes behind the chair. Everyone doesn't want to go back to school necessarily to be a trichologist, and that's fine. And everyone may not want to have a label of hair loss, but I do need everyone to be aware of the things that they see so that they can have a conversation. I want to talk to barbers and professionals. I don't know if you all have seen the some of the trending videos when it comes to staph infections and children having to go to emergency rooms after receiving haircuts. Like this thing serious, and instead of us wanting to put the blame on the client when we are told a thing in the chair, or for wanting to be accused or thinking that we don't know, we need to have these conversations so that we can eliminate some of the things that are going on that we're causing. We need to be honest too.
Yes.
What can we do about it? And so I want to come from that aspect when it comes to hair loss and scalp care, really understanding what it is that's going on, because it's trending. So everybody wants to be a part of the trending, and that's fine. I just need to make sure that you know what it is that you see and what it is you're talking about, so that we can be better professionals.
All right. So we know our theme for our conference is elevate. It's time for us to empower ourselves. It's time for us to leverage up. It's time for us to be victorious. It's time for us, to be more be achieving in our areas, and also access information, resources, and tools that will help us to elevate and leverage up and go to the next level, empowering our clients. So I'm very excited. I'm grateful for each and every one of you that's going to come out and educate. I just want to sit in everybody's class and just be a sponge and absorb. I don't tend to
Me
go
too.
and execute any techniques, because I'm not there for that. I just teach, 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 teach. That's all I am. I'm an educator at heart, and I just want to come back and teach my students. My students it's not even an option for them to be there. It's mandatory. So it is part of their training to learn how to come in and take the basic of cosmetology to the next level of understanding we are more than just hairstylists. And that we are practitioners at right. And our scope of practice allow us to use that word. Ain't that right, Miss Shanae? Practitioners. I mean that we are not just playing around with some hair and baby dolls and mannequins, but so it's time for us to really take our industry serious. I'm an advocate for it. You want to see me get pissed off and turn to a transformer, call me a stylist. First of all, I'm sorry, I just don't like it, because I'm a cosmetologist at heart, and by my license. My license does not say I'm a stylist. My license says I'm a cosmetologist.
All day.
All day, all night, and tomorrow, and for the last 42 years.
Yes.
But anyway, so
You have a
I think
question in there, Miss
I say that
Janice.
with such conviction because we get dummied down so much. Consider it doesn't take smarts or knowledge to do anybody's hair, but we know we teach all kind of anatomy, physiology, sociology, all that. We teach mathematics, we teach science, we teach all of it. Ain't that right, Miss Ebony? Because you're a school owner. So you don't dummy down me. You don't dummy down none of us. And what we do, I take it for. You choose to go to be an engineer. I chose to be a cosmetologist. Hey. So I'm here and fighting for our rights and what we are and what we do. So thank you. Anybody want to add anything? I know we got like 14 participants in here. So I know we got at least 14 shares out here or more. So, so we want people to come out and get educated. We want to encourage our our colleagues and our peers to come out and get educated. There's nothing to be ashamed of. Nothing you need to be adding to your services. You should be adding to what you're doing to make your clients better and making servicing better and making you better and greater and elevate our minds. Time to go to another level. Ain't that right, Miss Nicole?
And
Yes, it's time to go to
Janice,
another level. You also have a question by Doris Carr. She wants to
yeah.
know when the exact date is.
All right. The event is September the 14th and 15th. It's located in Greensboro, North Carolina, and that is Guilford County Convention Center. That's in Greensboro, North Carolina. That's Guilford County Convention Center. It's September the 15th and the 16th. It starts Sunday at 1 p.m. We're going to be kicked off with our Nicole's going to be open the morning manna for us, afternoon manna for us, and then our events and classes will start at 1 p.m. And at 7 o'clock, we will be having a gala. And the colors are blue, black, and silver. Blue, black, and silver is a formal affair, blue tie affair, because September starts Alopecia Awareness Month. So our color is blue, but we're having an offset with silver and also black. The tickets are $65 to attend the gala. And our event is a 2-day event, and there is tickets to be purchased, and the ticket cost is $79. So I have you can purchase on Eventbrite, and I also have a link so you can go also and register. And it's for 2 days, and it's September the 15th and 16th in Greensboro, North Carolina at Guilford County Convention Center. So we have 2 wonderful days of just education, being training, seminars, and workshops. I'm trying to go and read some a couple of comments. Hi, everybody, and thank you for tuning in. The date have been decided, September the 15th and 16th. Um, I'm really grateful here, so I don't see anything else. Mickey Wright do a class. Mickey Wright is doing a class. Mickey, tell about your class again. They asked about your class. Is Mickey still here?
All right, so I think we lost her. Can everybody else hear me? All right. So are you able to unmute Miss Mickey? Or is she still here?
I don't see Mickey no more. I think her camera's off. I'm not sure. She's not here no more.
Okay. Well, while Miss Janice is getting herself back together, let's just kind of go around the room and do tell about our actual classes. And my question would be is why should somebody want to take your class? What should they have to look forward to? I'm going to start with Miss Tamika James. Why should we want to take your class?
So I heard a few people touch on a couple of things this evening. My session will be utilizing my book, which is called "You Got Way More in You. Where Is It?" This session that I'll be doing is gonna take those who come into the room in whatever direction they need to go into. So the book is more about helping one to figure out what they want to do next. So that could be what you want to do next in your career, but it's also about this alopecia summit. So if
Right.
you want to get your hair back, you have to decide that that's what you want to do. If you
Right.
want to cut your hair off, you have to decide that that's what you want to do. Just because you have alopecia doesn't mean that there's other people to make a decision on which direction you're going to go in. You could cover
Right.
up or you can let it all out, but you have to decide what you want to do next.
Make
If
a
you want to,
decision.
yes, if you want to make choices about being more healthy, as Dave was saying, being conscious of what you put into your body, being conscious of the things that you do. Mickey spoke about mindfulness. I'm going to be talking about that too. You have to make decisions about whatever it is that is going to be next for you. So my session totally ties into alopecia. Even when you hear the title and you're not really sure, it's
Right.
what next.
What to
So
do, what next? I love
yes,
it.
yes. So once you guys come into my session and answer some questions, it's interactive and you'll begin to move into a particular direction. And going into the other sessions, you'll be wide open and ready to receive other educators' information because you've made a choice about what direction you want to go in. So if you're coming as a layperson, which is an everyday person that just needs information about alopecia, what it is, how to overcome it, what to do next, whether to cover up or not, you're going to sit and make a choice on what you want to do because someone else's choice is not yours. If you are coming as a beauty professional, you're going to make a choice about what is next for you in your life and in your career. So you can't come to this summit and just sit there and say, "Oh, I'm just coming here to get information." Did
Right.
you decide what you want with the information? So that's
Wow.
my question. When you come into my session, you got way more in you. Where is it?
Oh
So
my
I'm excited.
God.
I'm excited. Let's do this.
Yeah.
I'm so excited. We got Miss Janice back on the line, guys. But I will say, I want to sit in everybody's class. Like, can somebody give me a recording? I need to be in all the rooms at like one time. I'm
Yes.
so excited. Go
Well,
ahead,
you'll be
Miss
able to
Janice.
sit in. You'll be able to sit in the rooms. I promise you. Tamika made sure I lined it up so you'll be able to sit in the room. So I see a
Amen.
question on here: is the event for licensed and medical professional? Yes, it is for licensed and medical professional, and the non-licensed, meaning our clients able to come in and sit with the panelists and talk about alopecia, talk about the conditions, talk about how we're able to service them, and get some answers. As Dr. Ray was saying, so many things need to be talked about at these events. And this is the opportunity for our clients to come with you also and sit along with you. And he got one of his clients actually going to be a testimony. So that this is something needful for the clients and for the consumers. So day one is for consumers, along with professionals, and day two is all professionals only.
Awesome. Awesome.
We also have a licensed professional, Miss Shanae. You're talking about the health industry. So tell us about why you feel like it's important for us to talk about the health industry.
Yes. So I'll be coming from the standpoint, I'm a licensed cosmetologist, certified trichologist, and a cosmetology teacher, but I've also been a licensed health insurance agent since 2015. What I've run into is the lack of understanding how the very monies that you need to invest in your health, which is having insurance, a lot of people don't understand. And as we speak from a professional standpoint, my goal is to help licensed professionals understand how important it is to understand the anatomy of an insurance policy so that your clients understand that there's coverage possibly available to them to take care of some of these ailments, and how important it is as professionals that we understand if we have insurance, how that works. When is it a preventative situation and you're able to stay ahead of the game, how important that is. That is a part of identifying, not being reactive to health insurance and excuse me, to your own health care. A lot of times when we run clients, they are already dealing with ailments, but a part of some examples of prevention could simply be your fitness, your exercise, choosing to eat better. And again, that word is called choosing, but a lot of people need that information as we as professionals need to first be that in which we want our clients to be and become educated in what's available for the client to, when they have a problem, who do they go to?
Right.
Study the anatomy and physiology. What doctor deals with what? A nephrologist deals with the kidney. So what if your client says that they have something? How powerful are you have a little bit of insight? Because our clients, they come to us when they can't come to anybody else. I told my students today, hairstylists, barbers, and bartenders are people that really get a lot of information that maybe some of people's families don't even know about them. And so us being able to be advocates in our community around health insurance, understanding that we needed how to get it, and also help the client understand. So when they're meeting with these dermatologists, when they're meeting with their internal medicine doctor, that you're helping them with language, and understanding why they need to confirm what it is that their doctor is telling them, but from your holistic perspective, because we are cosmetology practitioners, holistic practitioners. We handle the entire being.
Right.
Probably coming from in terms of beauty, which is us, meeting health.
And Shanae has several books. She's the author of several books, and she have part of the Drugless Hair Loss Institute. Right, Shanae? Correct. All
Yes,
right.
the science
I
of
I, I wanted to say, Miss Nicole, you when you and I did an interview when we first started Alopecia Social, and I didn't even not know, a lot of natural hair care specialists did not know that they actually could bill or have billing for doing braids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but you explained that so eloquent that it's still a part of hair loss. Even, that's another service that they're offering. So I had all these natural hair care students, and I didn't even know how to educate them on that part till you brought it to my attention and knowledge that that's still part of the hair loss attachments. Can you talk
Correct.
about a little bit about that?
Yes, so basically non-surgical hair replacement, the true definition of non-surgical hair replacement is any external hair bearing device added to the existing hair. So any means any. So it all falls up under that umbrella. So it can be a weave, a sew in, a quick weave, a extension, a tape in, as well as braids. One of the stylists that work in my salon, she's not a cosmetologist. That's all she does is natural hair. All she does is braids. And in the state of Georgia, you don't have to have a license to braid. But she took my class and got certified, and she has a special technique that she does. She only braids people with hair loss, and she calls it a cover up technique, where she's actually has a technique where she braids their hair and she covers up the alopecia, the spots, the alopecia areata, the baldness in their hair, and she bills the insurance company $7,000 for one client. When she first
Come through.
before she came to my class, she was charging $700. That was her price out the pocket. But now that she's got the insurance portion of it, she's billing $7,000 for one client. Now, like I said, that's all she do is braid hair. She's not a cosmetologist, she's not a master cosmetologist. She just braid hair, and she has a special technique of how she braids it and covers up, and she's getting paid through the insurance company. So again, a lot of people don't know. They feel like, oh, you got to be licensed cosmetologist, you got to do this, but long as you have like any type of non-surgical hair replacement, any hair replacement, and people don't know, they feel like, oh, you got to have a wig, you got to have a unit. No, you don't have to have a wig. No, you don't have to have a unit. You can actually have some, long as you're adding hair to the existing hair, it falls up under that umbrella. And another thing people don't know, they're doing the microblading now with the eyebrows. People that's going through the chemo, they have to they have to get cancer and go through the chemo, and they lose their hair. They also start losing their eyebrows and their eyelashes, and a lot of people
Right.
are doing the microblading now. The insurance to pay for that as well. So
Wow.
it's a game
Wait a minute.
changer.
Where my paper? Wait a minute.
It's a
What you
game
say?
changer.
She t- she talked too fast.
So that's
I know
chemo
I do
induced
talk
alopecia. So a lot of
fast.
people don't know about
I
CIA.
do
You know what I'm
talk
saying?
fast.
So
Yeah.
so there's
I
just so
think
much information
stop
that's going to be
talking and let
given.
people
What you say,
come to the
Queena?
class. I think she needs to stop talking and let people come to the social.
Okay, I stopped talking to Mika. I'm pressing my mute button.
So we've been on here for over an hour, and I do really appreciate you taking your time out. We want to invite everyone out again. It's September the 15th and 16th in Greensboro, North Carolina. If you have not got your tickets, I would tell you need to go get them. Don't walk, but run. You know what I'm saying? Take an
Run.
airplane, take a train, however you need to get there. We need you to be here on September the 15th to see this all-star lineup, all this education, all this information, all these resources and tools. It's time for us to elevate and go to another level
Elevate.
and level up in our industry. There's no reason to be lack now. I said if you got two hands, you shouldn't be broke. If you broke while you sleep. So, and it's time for us to educate our people. Dr. Ray, you want to say anything before we end our live here?
I just want to say that I'm really excited about the variety of educators that you have in terms of what each person brings to the table. I must say, I can't see the faces that well, but I realize Tamika, the genius, my sister Tamika is on.
Yes,
And so I'm sorry I didn't acknowledge you because I just couldn't see the faces. I also noticed that Doris Carr is on out of Richmond, Virginia. She just asked a question. So it's exciting to have all these people. Hope she'll be there. She's also a great educator. And so I'm looking forward to this because it's just listening to you guys. There's so much I'm going to bring. Just hearing the young lady who spoke about health and exercise, etc. There's so much information we can bring to make this work. All of this is pieces to the puzzle that will make
Yes.
the whole system work. And so I'm looking forward to it. I hope people are excited as I am. I have a few books as well that I'll be promoting there for people to get more of the content that I'm sharing. So we actually have a book on nutrition. We have a book on hair loss and how nutrition affects it. So we have both. We have the whole package.
yes,
So I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be overwhelming for a lot of people, but it's going to be very inspirational for many people as well.
yes,
So, and I always tell people, if you come to events like these, you take back the tools that you need with you, and you take your time, read through them. You don't have to read them all at once. Take your time,
Right.
read them, reread them, reread them. Sometimes some of the information being shared with you at these conferences may not all be comprehensible at the time
yes,
because of the fact that everybody learns differently. The other thing
Right.
is, once you hear the information, I just say, come to these forums, without any inhibitions. Come
Yes.
there with your mind open, because one of the things I've learned is when I go to a class or any even attending, I just try to listen. Don't try to have all these questions in your head while you're listening. Just listen. And the reason why I'm saying that,
Just
when you have too many questions in your head, you lose the information being shared. Now, when you hear the information, you're not going to retain everything you hear. You may only retain maybe 10, 15. Some people are genius to retain 20% of the information. But just listen to it, because what's going to happen is later on in your day, your week, your month, your year, you're going to have an epiphany and you're going to say, ah, that is what Nicole was talking about. Ah, that's what Tamika meant by what she said. You may not get it then, but I would admonish you to just listen. Listen with pure intentions. And don't start comparing someone's information to somebody as you heard last
Yes,
year. Don't do all that. That's too much work for your brain. Just listen. I'm
you might
serious.
miss something. That's the truth.
Not, no, not you, not that you might. You will miss
You
you
something.
will
will
miss
miss.
something.
So
Yes,
just
you will.
listen, absorb. Don't understand if you don't have to. Don't process everything at the same time. Just listen. I always use this example when I was younger. My grandmother used to give me all this scolding and all these lectures. And I'm like, what is she talking about? I heard her, but I really wasn't paying attention. Now she's passed and I'm much older. I remember the things that she said. You know why? Because they went into my subconscious. And although I didn't use them at the time, they come back when I needed them. And I said, wow, my grandma used to tell me this, but I didn't really understand what she was saying. It comes to you eventually. So when you have opportunities like these, when you're going to buy a ticket, when you're going to travel from your state, from your city, it doesn't make sense for you to waste your time by coming and not paying attention. What
That's
sense
right.
Yes,
would that make? You're going to pay for a hotel, some of you to rent a car, price to get in, and then you're really not paying attention. You're wasting time.
Bring
Yeah,
your
we want
yes,
the
cups.
we want the seats to be filled. We want the seats to be filled with people who are there to learn, and not only learn but share. Share. I don't know everything, and there's some things that I'm willing to listen to or learn or be educated on, because that's how we build this industry, right?
Yeah.
Be willing to
yes.
learn. I'm a pro. If you know me, I'm a very assertive kind of guy, but I'm also very approachable, and I'm also very willing to hear your story, whatever it is. I'll be there the whole day until the night and until the turn off the party music. I'll be there, so you can talk to me privately in a group after my presentations. It's just like conversations, because you have me there for the
With
whole day. I'm
regular
sorry
people.
I cannot be there on the 16th because I'm flying out at 6 o'clock in the morning. But during that time, I already told my little friend. I said to her, whatever it is, we're staying until the party's over. So she said she's ready. So
All right.
she already has her clothes put out and all that stuff. Tamika,
Yes.
I'm not ready. My clothes are not out yet, right? And Nico, my clothes not ready yet, right? My clothes be ready maybe like 50
And
minutes before getting on
But
the
my
plane, but
cup is
I'll be all
empty. My cup is empty. I'm glad you're ready to pour because my cup is empty.
right. And let me tell you, I always say to people, I know you hear this sounds like a cliche. No question is a stupid question.
No
None.
question.
Right.
That's right.
Stupid question is the one you didn't ask. So if you feel you want to know something, if you don't want to ask it in the group, ask me privately, and we'll have a conversation. And so we can only share. We can only help if we know. We can only
That's
share what we
right.
know if you ask. And I'm an open book. I have no secrets to hide. I have no information to hide. I'm willing to share as much as I can in the time I'm given. And I'm excited. I'm excited. I'm really really
I'm
excited.
excited too. Um, a couple of questions was asked about the event. Yes, the website will be posted up. I'm not the greatest technology person, so me keep mashing buttons and things, I keep losing everybody. So I'm just gonna post it, and y'all. I appreciate y'all posting the information out there for me and sharing it out there for me, because I'm just not great at all that. So I know I'm gonna get a whooping again from Tamika when I get through, but I'm working on it. So y'all help me out. She gonna make sure it's straight and we get everybody's questions answered and all the platforms answered the way it should be. So I'm in training, y'all. So on that part. So September the 15th and 16th. It starts at 1 p.m. And that night we have the party, which is the gala. It starts at 7 p.m. The tickets are on sale and it will be posted here. They're $79 to get into the 2-day event, $65 for the gala. It's by ticket only. So you need your tickets, let us know, and talk to anyone of the presenters. Make sure that you get your information you need. Again, September the 15th and 16th, 2 days, 2 epic days of education, resources, and tools. So with that being said, if anybody have anything they want to add, I'm going to let everyone go. We've been on here getting a lot of wealth of information, and I'm really excited to see you all. And I will be calling you all, to come back and share some more information up to
I
prior
have
to the
something I
event.
want to add, Miss Janice.
Go
I
ahead.
just want to say this to professionals. We buy purses, we buy bags, we buy hair. I mean, you cannot get a good set of bundles, okay, for the price that this show is and the value that is being given. You've already got a little bit of it tonight. I'm telling you, my cup is empty. My paper is ready. You guys, if you are a stylist, if you are, of a student, if you know of a person who is dealing with this, you need to be in the building. Listen, if you got hair, if you don't got hair, if you want some more hair, whatever the thing is, there is an answer that is going to be given, and there is information that aha moment. I just want you guys to know that it is unheard of, okay, for the price that Miss Janice has made this available to us. It would be insane, okay? It would be just a terrible waste if you did not show up in the building, because for the ticket price and the car price and the flight price, listen, I've taken classes that were astronomical prices, like in the thousands. This really is $1,000 conference plus, okay, bar none. Like she said, there are celebrities on here, mentors on here. I'm just
Yes.
glad to be in the room, okay, because these people, I've been following in the industry my whole industry, and Tamika James and the doctor, because that's what I call him, the doctor, for these women and this young man to be in this position for this price. Listen, you can't give 15 minutes of their time for this
Right.
price. Okay. I'm just telling you, you can't take no class, you can't get no one-on-one. You are getting something that everybody needs to know. These ain't no small fries, okay?
I know
This a
that's
Big
right.
Mac, the super size, okay? The large drink. Go get your coins and get your ticket tonight, because listen, this right here, when people really figure out what's going on, it's gonna take off. And I don't want you to miss your seat. Show up with your cup empty and ready to rock and roll. That's just what I wanted to say.
I agree and I concur. I know we look for the Browner Brothers and the premieres and all those, but these are the same presenters. It's going to be at the Alopecia Social. We are focusing on just alopecia. We are focusing just educating those where there's an epidemic going on. 6.9 million people in the U.S. alone is suffering from hair loss. So we're talking about an epidemic that we're giving you the opportunity to get educated, to get knowledge, get wisdom, get understanding how to service them, how to price them, how to take your business to another level. You're not going to get this information at any other area. Just focuses just on one concentration. That's alopecia. And I'm the advocate for it. I'm on a mission for it. I'm grateful that each one of you came out tonight and spent the time with me. Share it out. Tell somebody else, and tell somebody else. Go get all our unit wearers, all our wig wearers, all our weave wearers. Go all those. It's time to go to another level with this
Go tell
thing.
everybody.
Go tell
Tell
everybody,
everybody.
and tell everybody. Tell somebody else. All right.
And
So
quickly,
go ahead.
Janice, I just wanted to say that coming to these fora or these symposia or summits is
Summit.
different than it's different than going to a hair show,
Yes.
Right.
a beauty show. Beauty show is more, I hate to say it, is more like a big flea market where we have education added to it. This is really an intimate setting, more a boutique style way of education where you
Yes.
This is the
come in a
meat.
small group. It's more networking and share. So yes, you can do some of these same things at a trade show, but because it's so is not as organic as this one. That one is more generic, whereas this one is where you summit is somewhere where you go there with an intention. It's an intention
Yes.
for education,
Yes.
sharing, networking. That's the point of a summit. So don't confuse a summit with a trade show. It's something
Yes.
totally
That's
different.
good.
And so I needed to say that because I think people say, "Oh, I went to a hair show, so why do I need to go to a summit?" Yeah, you need to go. You need to spend more time at summits because
Yes.
you learn.
Yes, you
Your
do.
chance of you
And
actually have a
believe
chance
me,
of
when I
learning more.
chose the word summit, it wasn't just something I pulled out the air just because. I looked at conferences, I looked at conventions, I looked at, all kind of titles. And it was
Hmm.
chosen for a specific reason. And even
Hmm.
when my mentorship came in as a mentee, Tamika and I talked about it. We actually sat down. She said, summit, And, I had to get permission that
Right,
it was
right.
suiting the case for what the need was. So it was not something
Hmm.
I pulled out the air like prices. It was chosen for a specific purpose. And it's a
Yes.
symposium just for that information. It's not a one of those fashion shows or fashion week things or just come and get some styles and technique. It's education, 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 elevation, education. Total different platform. Total different platform. So with that being
And you don't
said,
want to
I
miss
would
it.
agree. I know some of you been kicked off here. Tonight we are missing no longer here. I don't see Mickey. Mickey Wright was here. Shanita Scott was here. So with that being said, people trying to get in touch with me at this point. So I'm gonna let everyone go. I will see you all soon on another platform. And have a great night, everybody. September the 15th and 16th, starting at 1 p.m. Greensboro, North Carolina. Thank you all. God bless.
See you there.
Thank
All
you.
right. Good night.
Good night.
Good
Good night,
night.
Good
guys.
night,